what they will do when the kidnappers come. But 30 minutes before the kidnappers arrived, somebody gave order for the soldiers to withdraw from the school. And the kidnappers came and operated, and children were packed away. And the governor raised alarm all over. Chief of Defense Staff, former, now a nominee for the office of Minister of Defense. I want you to know that this Senate has set up a committee to investigate who gave that order and why they withdrew to give access to kidnappers to take those children unhindered. It's something that people would like to hear from you. And as we speak now, Brigadier General Oba has not been found, whether he's killed or not killed. He made a phone call to disclose his location. Who gave those coordinates for the kidnappers or the terrorists to go and pick him? Those are questions begging for answers. And then...
Point of order.
Point of order, Senate Leader.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, I rise pursuant to Order 8 of 3 of our rules to move for extension of time to enable this Senate seat beyond 3 p.m. So that we'll have enough time to conclude on this confirmation hearing. I so move.
Minority Leader.
Mr. President, sitting as chair, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the Senate extends its time and sitting beyond 3 o'clock to enable the Senate to conclude its activities of the day. I so second.
Motion moved and seconded. Those in support say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it.
Security agencies and all the NDAs that I've said, we're going to investigate fully. So I know the Senate has established a committee to look into that. The armed forces also has a way, and then from the defense, we're going to make sure that we continue with the oversight over their activities. No indolence, no act of cowardice will be entertained. We're going to make sure that we follow them critically to see what they are doing from the commanders down to the troops. They must be professional. I was wondering how the general himself was alone when he's supposed to have his own troops with him. So there are questions that need answering, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. What happened? Who are those, including that one for the children at Maga? It is unfortunate that the troops will be there and then will leave and shortly something happened. It is unacceptable. And I can assure you, sir, we're going to investigate, and all those found culpable will face the law accordingly. I will make sure that we monitor, must work together. We must get the support. Because I can tell you, not calling members, there are still a lot of gaps within the armed forces that is also mitigating against them, be able to achieve success fully into what we're doing. And like I said, we need the state governors, we need everyone to be on board for us to be able to achieve that. So my assurance is, from day one, we're going to monitor and review all our activities, all the operations that we're doing. Where we have done wrong, we're going to take measures to address them. Where things need to be done, we're going to, and then we're going to come back again, sir, because there are areas that we need your support. And like Senator Lawan mentioned, the issue of funding. Without proper funding, it's going to be extremely, extremely difficult. But I want to thank the Senate again, sir, for all the support, but to assure Nigerians and the Senate that we are going to spend everything that is required to ensure that there is peace in Nigeria. Our children are going to be secured and safe, but it's going to be that all of us are working together in ensuring that is achieved. Thank you very much, sir.
Now we are happy with your answer. And just for your information, the Senate has already commenced a process. Just even this morning, we are designating kidnapping as a terrorist action. And and then we have also prescribed death sentence without any option of fine. We are going this route because we want to give you the enabling legal framework for people to know that either there's deterrent. If they are not deterred, then let them go ahead and they will face death sentence. So we are prepared to distinguished Senator Nengi.
Thank you, Mr. President, for this opportunity. General Musa, I am extremely delighted, excited, like all Nigerians. about this appointment. Mr. President, this appointment looks like it. It looks tactical. It looks logical. And it is timely. The question I want to ask the General is, General, what is the problem of the Nigerian Armed Forces with technology? Example, why are we seeing these bandits with super sophisticated guns and our officers are confronting them still with AK-47? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. President, sitting as chair. My name is Senator Mohammed Ogoshi Onao. I represent Nasarawa South. Mr. Nominee, sir, I want to commend the Commander-in-Chief and the President of Nigeria, Senator Ahmed Bola Tinubu, for nominating you.
Senator, I didn't do that. After Senator, now you are speaking, so just give 2 minutes before you go. I know you want to ease yourself, but just 2 minutes.
Sir, like the Senate President sitting as chair has said, and my other colleagues, to me, your nomination is based on popular demand. And I want to congratulate you for that. You have achieved a lot in your military career, and this is another chance for you to prove yourself. Such, you cannot afford to fail. To ask you what you are going to do to achieve this, brave ones trying to confront the situation as it confronts them. Order comes from above for them to withdraw, putting the lives of our people in danger, like the Senate President has said. You know what to do. We want to know a little bit of what you want to do. But my major concern is, Senator,
you will do that. And with the prayer warrior you have at home too, all of us will continue to pray for you. Today, Nigerians should go and learn how to sleep and pray for you that you will succeed. Thank you very much, sir.
Senator Kawu, and General, that was the prayer of a father, the distinguished Senator Father Honsi. When you said that the war is winnable, we believe that if God can assist the world to win the war against COVID, that we can win the war against insecurity, and we shall win the war against insecurity. So we don't want to talk about the collaborators, we don't want to talk about the conspiracies, we don't want to talk about the enemies of Nigeria and the enemies of government. We don't want to look at them, we just want to look at winning the war. We must win this war for us to bequeath a better country to future generations. Senator Kawu.
Thank you, Mr. President. My dear distinguished and honorable colleagues, I am Suleiman Abrahaman Kawu Smaila, representing Kano South Senatorial District. Mr. President, my dear distinguished colleagues, Mr. Nominee, I don't want to repeat myself, commending Mr. President of appointing a competent hand to manage this very important ministry in this current situation, and his capacity to handle the situation, because he demonstrated it, and we can testify when he was in the office. We are in constant touch with him when we start experiencing this kind of challenges in part of Kano State in my senatorial district. We are always liaising with him, and he do his own best to make sure that we contain the challenges, and by the grace of God now, I can say Kano South Senatorial District little bit is safe, inshallah. Mr. President, I want nominee to give a highlight, because he just left office as a Chief of Defense Staff when U.S. Congress, and of course, the President of the United States of America, President Trump, perceiving or accusing Nigeria that there is a genocide or religious intolerance, or they perceive that the government or the security agencies are doing or are protecting some people, some this country. Of course, even today, they are holding a roundtable discussion on the Nigerian situation of genocide, religious intolerance. And we are very lucky, when he was a Chief of Defense Staff, he is a Christian, a very good friend to us, very often sincere and transparent personality.
Mr. President and my colleagues, I think first I want to thank President Ahmed opinion as a very competent man, myself and Chairman Ahmed Lawal, Committee on Defense, we work with it. We have been working with him since the 10th Senate as CDS. And there is nothing good like if we are appointing people, you appoint competent people. I don't even know questions. If there's anything you give in Nigerian army, he has it. But my advice, I don't want to ask him a question. My own is advice. Don't believe on only gun. You must go back to intelligence gathering. Intelligence gathering is the key to whatever we are going to do. Because we have no intelligence. When people do not have intelligence gathering, they carry weapons and go, the enemy is in front. There's no recce. I don't see soldiers and Navy, Air Force going for recce. Both air recce or ground recce, they don't do that. And when you go there, they have laid ambush. We will lose our soldiers. As a Minister of Defense, how will you address the issue? I want you, the issue of wiping out courses. I want you to advise Mr. President. You wipe out a course totally. Like if you were course 38, If we appointed CDS, every other person is constantly to retire. We have used money to train you people. And it's Nigerian people's money. So how you are going to address this issue as a defense minister? In terms of security, how are you going to control the service chiefs to be one? There's no love among the service chiefs. How are you going to coordinate them to make sure, because the essence of a defense minister is to coordinate all the service chiefs and all the agencies related to it. We have almost 42 security-related agencies in Nigeria. How are you going to come out as Minister of Defense to make sure that everybody speak with one voice and you go back to President Tinubu to advise him brilliantly? Because we are not soldiers, they have been given the highest honor by appointing you Minister of Defense. So you must pay a very good attention to the service chiefs, to everybody. It's your duty. Service chiefs are not independent of you. Service chiefs are supposed to report to you. And that is what it should be. And you make a decision and go back to the President of Nigeria to advise him. It's not a multiple thing. You must follow that line. This is what is done all over the world. And you must also brief the President on the things that are realistic, not just things you like. Like my colleague Kabo was asking you a question. Just one moment. What he's trying to ask you, is it genocide in Nigeria? Did anybody, I know people are killing people. If they go to Zamfara State and kill people, the people they will kill are Muslims. If they come to Abia State and kill people, the people they will kill are Christians. They go to Plateau, Benue and kill people. They go to Meduguri and kill, they will kill Muslim. So the question is, do you subscribe that Nigeria, we must work as one? Do you believe that people are being killed, not based on their religion, but they are based on terrorists killing people? Thank you, Mr. President. Let me stop so far. Thank you very much.
Even if you want to continue, you can come to your house. Senator Joe Ibrahim.
Thank you very much, Mr. Senate President, and my very distinguished colleagues of the 10th Senate. My name is Jimoh Folorunso Ibrahim, representing the good people of Ondo South from Ondo State. Let me say this one very clearly. I most sincerely join my colleagues to commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for nominating you as the Defense Minister. But let me say clearly, Mr. Senate President, all over the world, military only account for 20% of counterterrorism. There is nothing you can do that you can score more than 20% of counterterrorism insurgency. Therefore, yes, we need the budget, but Mr. President will not give you the entire budget. Because 80% of success factor, Mr. Senate President, is still hanging somewhere beyond the military. At the Senate here, under the Chief Senator Okoyemi Bamidele, as the Senate President generously approved, continued discussion of the security summits in the 6th geographical zone in Nigeria is still ongoing. That action alone accounts for 10% success of counterterrorism in Nigeria. People are involved, legitimacy of the people are involved. General Musa, you know with due respect to you, aggression will not solve the problem. There are many other issues. Relationship, interpersonal relationship. The Senate President and the President of Nigeria are liberalists. They believe in cooperation and collaboration to distill an order, to create peace in the firmament of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The army cannot be an exclusion of cooperation and collaboration in solving insurgency and security. Regrettably, I won't be able to take much of the generosity of the honor given to him by the Senate President of time. I will write a personal memo to you on how to go about the 80% other factor, which the President must be aware of. That the President will be generous with the army and the military. He wants a greater efficiency. He has been calling for meetings virtually every other day. This Senate under Senator Akpabio had moved and spent money to hold security summit in the 6 geographical zones in Nigeria. They want peace in this country. But regrettably, the totality of the military of Nigeria, including of Donald Trump, cannot solve beyond 20% of counter-terrorism. You know this is the practice in war fronts. Me and you know we are experts in this field. There is nowhere in the world where military has gone beyond 20% success factor. So, Mr. Senate President, I want to say, with your generosity and the upcoming Senate debate on National Security Summit, we must identify the remaining 80% success factor and forward-load it to the Honorable Minister to be cleared and implement. Lastly, the Civil Military Operational Manual is my area of advice to you. The military must go back and review the Civil Operational Manual, which engage legitimacy, engage interpersonal relationship, engage talking to each other. What does it take us? Even if we call the religious leader come and have a general session and dinner with us, both Muslim and Christians, the moment that we know their leaders are talking, those people will drop their arms. You cannot solve this problem with aggression, and I want to wish you the best of luck as the Senate President move to clear you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And the Chairman of Finance, a lot of things are said here that you can't achieve much except the appropriation does the right. So you will say something and then the appropriation chairman will say a word. Chairman of Finance, distinguished Senator, ranking Senator Sani Musa.
Mohammed Sani Musa. I am representing a senatorial district that had been so inflicted with this issue of insecurity. But first, I will also join my colleagues in congratulating Mr. President at this most very difficult time in the history of this country to be able to make this decisive decision in appointing the immediate past Chief of Defense Staff as Minister of Defense. More has to be done in that cycle. And I believe that with the coming of Christopher Musa, there will be a lot of changes. And I have been interacting with you, especially in the area of funding. There is no country that will run its security architecture without funding. We will not allow our Minister of Defense or Minister of Defense going hand in hand for funds. And that is the reason why I think Mr. President chose you as the competent person to be there, because you have been navigating very well with the Ministry of Finance. That being said, I want to also commend Mr. President for making this choice. We have a lot of young officers that have been retired. Most of these young officers that are retired are not even prepared for their retirement. And at a time that a country is facing so much of security challenges, most of them are not businessmen, most of them are not politicians, are gentlemen, are military officers. They have been trained. They have gone to many countries, trained in warfare and everything. There is no better time that we need them like now. As Minister of Defense, can you propose to Mr. President the need to have a reserve army? Have we reached a stage that we can now start thinking of bringing back a unit like the National Guards or veterans, a corps of veterans, so that when we are faced with things like this, it's not just abruptly employing new recruits, but making use of those that have been trained already. There's also second issue of motivation. It's not only about allowances into pockets. There are so many other motivating factors that you can create to enhance the agility of the armed forces. And then Nigerian youths too. A lot of people today, seeing what is happening on the social media, especially when you see a soldier going on social media, making any sort of presentation, it discourages a lot of youths in wanting to go into the service. Mr. President was suggesting about NYSC. One of the core factors of establishing this scheme is also to be able to get agile youths to have interest in how to join armed forces to defend the territorial integrity of this country. As Minister of Defense, will you try as much as possible to see that these three I bring up, you come up with something that will be able to at least give the Nigerian armed forces the leverage to make use of this, the youths, the veterans, and possibly creating a kind of national guard. Thank you, Mr. President.
Now you notice Senator Olamileko.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Very distinguished colleague. Mr. President, sitting as chair, let me join my colleague and the entire Nigerians in thanking Mr. President for bringing back General Musa Christopher. Mr. President, I'm one of the very few Nigerians that was disturbed when I learned that General Musa Christopher was retiring. But in a way, because of his good deed while he was in office, I know that definitely along the line, the president will give him another assignment. I never believed or thought he would be nominated as the minister. But immediately, his name was announced as the new Minister of Defense designate. It comes with a lot of applause and good commendation from Nigerians for one singular reason, because Nigeria feels it's a round peg in a round hole. And as such, a welcome development. Sir, I want to say this. When you came on board in 2023, May 2029, when the president assumed office, and you swing into action, there is a lot of reduction in all these incidents that we have, kidnapping, banditry, and everything. That in 2024, the report is there and it's clear that we have the lowest number of kidnapping and banditry in the country. Not until recently again, when you are about exiting office, that we have this sporadic rise in banditry, kidnapping, and terrorism across board. Nigeria would like to know what brings about this sudden rise again in banditry, kidnapping, and this terrorism act across the divide. Today, you are the nominee of Mr. President as the incoming Minister of Defense. Nigeria will equally wants to know what are the strategies, even though without full disclosure, that you will put in place to bring back the good old days while serving as the Chief of Defense Staff of this country. I so submit, Mr. President.
Thank you. This is Senator Oshimole.
God bless the president. Sir, I joined in commending the nominee, and I was very inspired by your opening statement. But the last word you used, I was a bit confused. When you said, we can win this war. I thought that is begging the question. What we expect from you is assurance. We will win this war. We shall win this war. Not can. Can is about potential. We have talked too much about potentials. Under your leadership, Nigeria will win this war. There have been a couple of observations that people have raised. When young men and women are kidnapped, state governors and other stakeholders are panicking, people are responding differently. For example, we have seen reports of armed terrorists coming out of the bush and negotiating with a subnational government. And people are like, how can we negotiate? And on the floor of this Senate, many distinguished senators remind us that people know where these terrorists are. They know their roots. And in any case, if they didn't know them, how do they negotiate with them? Because once the armed forces is demystified, there is no state. It is the power of the state. It possesses the monopoly to use instruments of violence to liquidate anyone who threatens the existence of the state. So for many people, they can't understand why the state or anybody purporting to represent the state will negotiate with bandits. They come to the city, and then after negotiations, they go back. There are other stories that one cannot verify about people wearing uniforms or people they have killed, so on and so forth. Like has been said, I don't think any one of us here has any iota of doubt. If anything, I have been congratulating many people who come to me that yes, for several reasons, your appointment is a bold statement, even to enemies of Nigeria outside Nigeria, who sought to polarize our country along religious lines. Your appointment has shut their mouth down. So, in all respect, I'm pleased, I'm happy, my confidence is reinforced. But sir, I need you to change your statement that we shall win. Number two, whether or not it makes sense for the state. Not round peg, square peg in a square hole. That is what you represent. But I don't need some assurance to tell my children they don't have to worry. We have a new sheriff in town. Thank you very much, sir.
I think you spoke the minds of all those whose hands are up. Because which side? Okay, say something.
No. Thank you, Mr. President.
You know, there is another screening of some ambassadors going on. That's why a lot of senators are moving there to go and contribute.